Hey everybody, welcome to week 3. First off, I want to say congratulations. First speech done. Woo! Nice work. I really enjoyed getting to meet everybody. So thank you for your work on your introductions. And now it's time to roll into our second unit, which is the informative speech. So today's video, I'm going to cover 3 different components. 1, I'm going to talk about internal noise. 2, I'm going to talk about choosing a topic for your informative speech. And 3, I'm going to talk about the outline. So these are 3 areas that I want you to be thinking about as you prepare for speech 2. So first off, let's talk about internal noise. In last week's discussion board, I asked that everybody reflect on external and internal noise. And a lot of people talked about the potential for noise out on the street or barking dogs or kids playing, but very few people talked about internal noise, which is the noise up here. So let's think about how internal noise could impact our speaking skills and our listening skills. So 1, nerves create a lot of internal noise. I'm not doing well enough. I'm trying to go too fast. I'm using fillers. So thinking about how do we calm that nervous voice down and really just come from a place of knowing, of preparation, of practice, of confidence, even if it's fake it till you make it. So that internal noise is important to address, as well as the internal noise of, oh my gosh, I have this big thing tomorrow at work, or I need to go grocery shopping, or the kids are driving me crazy today, right? All of that internal monologue that's really hard to shut off, especially because we're giving these speeches from our home and we've got 100 other things going on out there in our real lives. So that narrative is continuing to play in your head. So thinking about how can I quiet that down, because to be an ethical listener, to be an engaged audience member, I need to be focused on the person speaking and not on all of the spinning that's going on constantly in my head about other obligations and commitments and things to do. So think about how can you enter this space when you arrive for a speech that drops that internal noise, those voices that will help you show up and listen fully and present fully as well. Second component I want to talk about today is choosing a topic for your informative speech. Hopefully, you will choose something that you're interested in, that is relevant to your audience, that we have some kind of connection to it, and that you already have a bit of basic knowledge or background in this topic. So you'll see the informative speech assignment is right here, so you'll be able to look through that closely. Remember, there's going to be a visual aid this time, so you want to make sure you think through and spend time preparing your visual aid. As far as choosing the topic itself, here are some ideas. So if I was presenting, I would think, what are things I'm interested in? What are things I know about? And what are things that my audience may have some connection to? So for many years, I worked as a river guide during the summer when I wasn't teaching. So I have a lot of background knowledge on water safety, in particular river safety. And this is really interesting and relevant because most of us spend some time on or near water around southeast Idaho in the summertime. And so I would have a personal connection, and I think I could really get it to connect with the audience. I have background knowledge, but then I would also continue to do a little bit of research. So be thinking about topics that really are relevant to us. I'm an online student, or I've been an online student. What are components for being a successful online student? That would be another great informative speech. I do a lot of day hiking. What are essentials for a day hike in your backpack? Again, I bring a ton of background knowledge that I would incorporate into the speech, but I would also do some research as well. And I find that this informative topic would actually be really relevant to most of my classmates, given that a lot noted they like hiking as a summer activity. So really be thinking about, what do I know? What would my audience be interested in hearing? And what could I do a little bit more research on? Remember, this is not a persuasive speech. This is purely informative. You also want to not pick a topic that is too obvious that a lot of us would already know about. Or if you do pick a topic that is really familiar to your audience, how do you take that topic to the next level? How do you deepen the audience's knowledge and understanding of this topic that they think they may already know a lot about? So that is some idea. Those are some ideas for choosing a topic. Lastly, I want to talk about the outline. There's a very specific model for the outline that you will be required to submit. It is considered a preparation outline, and I have an example posted right here to Blackboard. So it's also in the textbook. I actually just copied this right out of the textbook, so you can also find it there. Now, creating a preparation outline takes a lot of time. Okay, it's very specific. It's literally writing out your entire speech, which is essential to the preparation, the research, the components. Many of you noted that you wanted to improve on your intros and closings and transitions, and the preparation outline is a great place to work on that, because as you'll see, you specifically line out your attention getter, you state your thesis, you explicitly offer your preview, and then you go through your main points and you even include your transitions. So you are required to submit this outline for a substantial amount of points, but you'll also see that this outline is going to be huge in the actual crafting, organization, and structure of your speech. So make sure you are following the model. It's rather long, but it is well worth it for how that transfers to the success of your speech. The other thing to think about is that our intros, closings, and transitions in speaking are very different than they would be in writing essays or research papers. In speaking, we are very explicit. So we state our thesis, and then we actually outline 1, 2, 3 components as a preview of what you're going to discuss. And if you noted, I did that in the opening of my video today. I told you the 3 components that I was going to talk about. Then I've used transitions where you're saying next, lastly, is my third point. So things we would not consider advanced writing are considered appropriate for speaking, because we're only cluing in as listeners. And so as a reader, I can go back and reread or review or slow down. I don't have that opportunity as a listener. And so you want to make sure you're being very obvious, being rather repetitious, and being very explicit in your introduction, your transitions, and your closing. And the book talks about that quite a bit, so you can review that again in Chapter 8. If you have any questions this week, let me know. I'm here to help you, and I look forward to seeing all of you for Speech 2.